All right, good Vach, everybody. Here we are in the Motzei Shabbos, Sichos Haran. We are over Tisha B'Av. We are over Tu B'Av. Amazing, amazing, amazing day. And here we are in the, like going towards the runway, towards Uman and Rosh Hashanah. So, amazingly enough, this is, I'll share with you this evening's Sicha, because we're holding Sicha Chaf Aleph, B'Rosh Hashanah. This is the Sicha that Rabbeinu has arranged for us. And it says as follows, B'Rosh Hashanah, Tzrichim liot chacham. Rosh Hashanah, you have to be wise. What wisdom is required? Shiachshav rak machshavas tovos. Shiyetiv Hashem yisborach imanu. To think only good thoughts that Kadosh Baruch Hu is doing with us tremendously good things throughout the year. V'tzrichim liot sameach b'Rosh Hashanah. You have to be very happy on Rosh Hashanah. It's the second thing. It says you also have to cry on Rosh Hashanah. And it says, Rosh Hashanah b'yom harishon, on the first day, you have to speak, you'll be mevmad b'dibur. You have to be very taciturn. He says the great person is to be very careful. This he's in the first day, he's not even saying the piyutim during davening. Only that which Rabbi Eliezer Kalir wrote, this is the one he's saying. But the other chants, whatever it is, he's not saying. He has to be extremely, extremely precise. Not to speak anything which isn't a must. So we have here, the first inyan is that you have to think good thoughts. The second thing is that you have to be b'simcha on Rosh Hashanah. The third thing is you need to cry on Rosh Hashanah. And the fourth thing that you have to embrace the eternity. You have to be you have to speak very little. Not to speak a lot and choose your words carefully. And that a person, as it says, Adam Gadol has to be very careful. And Rabbeinu says that he himself is only saying the part of Rabbi Eliezer Kalir. Now, Rabbi Eliezer Kalir is I think that there is a machloikus if Rabbi Eliezer Kalir is Rabbi Elazar ben Horkanos or Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. Either way, these are two Tanoim. We're talking about immense Tanoim. And Rabbi Eliezer Kalir, there's a question of why he's called a Kalir. Well, some say that this is his grandfather, who was a very important person. And some say, I think that is according to one of the Sfarim, that this is the name, one of the names of heaven is a Kalir. And the chants that Rabbi Eliezer Kalir had written were so inspired, was so great that they bring a person all the way up to heaven. Let's talk about a little bit about if Rosh Hashanah a person needs to be a chacham, just to think good thoughts, to be happy, and about, crying Rosh Hashanah, whatever this that is involved. It is bichlal an amazing insight into what our existence actually is. People that are locked in the Gashmias, this is, as we learned on Monday, the dominion of the true son of the slave. That's the body and the ego. And it takes quite a lot to separate the neshama from the body and the ego, meaning they have to be together, obviously, because you can't live without your body and without your cognizance. But you have to understand that they are serving you. They are your servant. They are your slaves. They are subservient to you. That's the way it should be. It's only when you learn, the limudim of the tzaddikim, that you start realizing that you actually exist and subsist at any given moment in time in all the realms of machshava, dibur, and maisa. You have avodah in machshava, you have avodah in dibur, and avodah in maisa. As Rabbeinu says in Torah Lamed Hey, that Kadosh Baruch Hu is, a person should always be cognizant of the fact that there is Olam Haba, that there is existence past this life. When a person is living in the dominion of the physical, one is captured in the frame of mind of, how do I feel now? And how will I feel later? And how I felt before. And, those of us who think about what is going to be, then a person tends to worry about when the expiration date is going to arrive, how it's going to take place. Not Hashem, so it shouldn't be Yisurim. The Gemara says, Elecha yisparal kol adam le'es metzoi. To you, a person should always daven to a time of finding. Let's metzoi. So Chazal says that a person needs to daven at all time. He should have a nice, sending off from this world. So he shouldn't be with Yisurim. He should be a Misa Yofa B'zat Hashem. It's an Inyan. The Gemara says that. Nevada is a Choshev Inyan. But there's beyond that. There's beyond that. The Gemara brings different kind of examples. It says, but there's the main part of the story takes place after this world is said and done. And everything is happening in the level of thought, the level of speech, and the level of deed. So Rabbeinu says that the first thing is that you have to understand is that everything follows the machshava. So we all know that our station in life, our position, our relationships, even our health, have a lot to do with what kind of thoughts we're having. I mean, when we spoke about many times about how each and every one of us forged a certain self-image based on his experiences. And because one is so convinced that my self-image is who I really am, that it becomes who I really am. Because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's not chas v'chalel to belittle anyone. Say, it's just like it's all in your mind. Well, yes, it is all in your mind. But it's not a derogatory statement. You can see that, for instance, in the story of Yiftach, who was one of the shoftim of Am Yisrael. Initially, he was, I don't know that he necessarily that he was what the Gemara says about him. He was an outcast. He was an outcast. His mother was not the official wife of his father, and he was chased away by his brothers and all the people of Gilead. They chased him away. Then, the Nachash, the king of the Ammonites, came, and started up against him, so they called him back. But the whole story of how he agreed and said, if you call me back, I'm going to be ruling upon you. And they said, sure, no problem. You're going to be the boss. So a Ruach Hadasha came to him from Hashem. A new spirit came to him. In other words, he could not have continued. He could not have, to have the mindset, the self-image of the outcast, being the leader. So you got the Ruach Hadasha. We can see that when Yeshua is being appointed to become the future leader of Am Yisrael, so Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you have to put your hands on him and emanate from the spirit which is in you on him. Rabbeinu says that every leader has a Ruach Acheres, has a different spirit. In other words, a different spirit than a regular person. And he gets it when he's elected. And the thing is that it's an amazing thing because the people sense it. The people that are voting, they think, that, but the truth is that they are voting for somebody who is votable, who HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants them to vote. That person has a Ruach Acheres. And the people sense it. There's a whole reality happening on the level of machshava. That's why machshava is so important on a day-to-day basis. Last week we learned that what was it? Let's just take a quick look here. We said this is the simcha, when a person should always be besimcha. When a person is be'atzvus, that it is very, very difficult. But when a person is besimcha all day long, then it's very easy for him to take 1 hour to break his heart. And the point that I was trying to bring out, when I got all confused there for a minute, was your state of mind is the result of your choosing. Being be'atzvus, being low down, being depressed, being out of sync, is a result of a laziness, of certain kind of forget about it. I'll just go with the flow. Because Rabbeinu says that it's a nature of man that pulls him into depression, into sadness. If a person was to take a look, it's what is happening to him in a 24-hour period. 99.9% is fantastic, from health to everything. Here, your wife says something, somebody parks in your parking lot. Little things over here. Forget about it. The whole day is not worth it. I'm out of here. I have an awful day, awful life. Forget about it. I'm worthless. I'm done. What? Because that's the nature of the person. They takes for granted the good and the bad. Can't believe it. It's a real avodah. It's a real work. It's a real toll. You have to work on the kudas tavis. Yeah, but then everybody becomes a chacham. The kudas tavis, what, you want to be a Baal Gaiva? People don't realize that inferiority complex is a koich evatzimili exactly like a Baal Gaiva. I'm nothing. I'm nothing, that's why you have nothing. It's exactly the same like I'm everything, and that's why I have everything. It's exactly the same thing. The flip side of the same coin. The point is, the avodah of nekudas tovos is, I put on film. Yeah. So what? So everybody puts on film. That makes it even bigger. I'm part of a huge thing. But the point is that you don't realize and you don't think about what is the meaning of putting on film. We spoke about it a few times. Every single good deed that you do is yours, and it's yours forever. You have done something that the Kadosh Baruch Hu will keep for you and will reward you beyond time. And this is who you are. So if the bad that I do is bad, why isn't the good that I do good? I mean, it's either or. If the good that I do doesn't make me good, then the bad that I do that doesn't make me bad either. I mean, you can't have it, both. It has to be both ways. And you can see it specifically in Vidui Meiser. Vidui Meiser, a person brings the Bikurim, the first crops, he brings to Beis HaMikdash, puts in the hands of the Kohen, and he is confessing. What is he confessing? I did everything you said. I brought the Meiser, I brought this, I didn't give it to a mace, I didn't give it to this, I gave it to that, whatever. I did exactly what you wanted me to do. Here it is. Now I did what I had to do. Now eventually you do what you have to do. Bless us. That's a confession? What kind of confession is that? Confessions, I did this bad, I did this bad, I did this bad. But what the Torah is telling us here, is that if you are locked into only the bad things that you did, I mean, it's important, it's vital that you keep track of everything that you do, and whatever you do bad, you do tshuva, b'vadai, 100%. But it can't be just one side of the ledger. Because A, it depresses you, it builds the wrong self-image, you cannot be b'simcha, and you fall into a habit. You can even become a Baal Gaiver with, look how strict I am with myself. It can become a sport. Me, such a liar, such a cheater. Don't look at me, no. The point is that the certain things that you do that are bad, yeah. The certain things that you do that are good. You have to work with both of them. Adrabah, Mida Tova Meruba. The good is 500 times bigger than the bad. It's true you don't have to worry about the good because it's already money in the bank. Let's say that Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to take care of it. It's fine. But you have to work with the bad that you did because you do tshuva. But the point is that you have to work with the good also. Not to get big-headed, but to realize that you're good. You're good. I know it's a shocking statement, but you're good. Sorry to let you know, but you're good. You really are good. We talk about the Indian of avoid of the Simcha. Rabbeinu says the avoid of Simcha is the hardest of all the avodas. It's literally hardest of all the avodas Hashem is to be b'simcha. How much davening is to go to it? And Rabbeinu says when a person is b'simcha, he can lead his mind. He can choose, he can do, he has an expanded consciousness. He can do everything. But when you will run out of bandwidth, of mental bandwidth, have a constricted consciousness, nobody can talk to you even. You can learn, you can't do this, you can't do anything. Each and every one of us has experienced certain times in which we felt, I can do this. We even had times when we felt, something, I can do anything. Especially if somebody took some cocaine or something, and for sure thinks he can do everything. And it is in the mind. Because if you believe that it can be done, and the Menias is Menias Samayach, the biggest obstacles are in your mind. You have to go to Uman. How am I going to go to Uman? I have this, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have that, no regulations, and this and that. Beseder, we all know about that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu also knows about that. And if Rabbeinu wants you to be in Uman, you are going to be in Uman. But the only one who can prevent you from being in Uman is you say, nah, forget about this. No way, I can't do it. Oh, you can't do it? Then Taka, you won't do it. But if you say, yeah, sure it can be done. Because Baruch Hu wants it, it'll happen. All I need is Siyata D'Shmaya, that's it. As far as I'm concerned, it's a done deal. Just the Kodesh Baruch Hu, first Siyata D'Shmaya, that's it. The point is that you have to have Siyata D'Shmaya to have Siyata D'Shmaya. You ask the Kodesh Baruch Hu. They have this false statement. Those who have like a 50% belief, and those who have no belief at all. They say that the Kodesh Baruch Hu helps those who help themselves. Rav Nosson says it's the opposite. Those who Hashem help help themselves. If Hashem helps you, then you do. And when you do, you need Hashem to help you. You should be matzliach. But you see it again. The people that are doers, are people who are matzliach. It's not because they are matzliach every time. Adrabah, forget. They fail more times than somebody who is a failure. Because somebody is a failure, fails one time, that's it, forget it. It says, it's because I'm no good. And whatever I do ends up blowing out of my face. I know it's going to end up in tears no matter what. So why should I try it? Why should I be, in this tension until I'm going to fail? Okay, I just won't do it altogether and finished. Chas v'chalila. Chas v'chalila. Those who are matzliach, those who Hashem Yisborach gave siyata d'shmaya to keep on going. In order to keep on going, to be matzliach, I have to agree to two things. First, I have to agree to succeed. And B, I have to agree to fail. Both these things can be one and the same. Because the thing that prevents me from attempting to succeed is the fear of what's going to happen, how it's going to feel, how it's going to be when I fail, or if I fail. I'll feel like a total loser. I'll feel like I knew I shouldn't have tried to do it. I know it. That's the next time I'll know better. The same thing is with Simcha. And it's most important to Rosh Hashanah. It's not just on Rosh Hashanah, it's not because Rosh Hashanah itself, determines the whole year. But you have to do it every single day. It's an avodah that you have to do every single day. There is cleaning out, there is overall, there is tune-up that you need to do to your mind every single day. Nekudas Toivas. Yes, you're supposed to make cheshbon nefesh, for sure. Rabbeinu says if you don't make cheshbon nefesh, that's it. The day is gone. Then the next day is a whole new day. And with a load with a pile of junk that has to be cleaned and regretted and made tshuva on all over again. What happened? The one of yesterday? Well, yesterday it was gone. It's like somebody who's borrowing money from people, keeps on borrowing money from people, and is always like the last person that he borrowed money from. He is like 100% sure him I'm going to pay. But then you don't have money, and you have to borrow from somebody else. So the one that you were for sure going to pay now becomes, I'm back. And it's the new one that's for sure is going to pay, and so forth and so on. Shlomo Melech says, in Koheles, again, a person who is smart, who is quick, who is incisive, is matzliach. The one who works is matzliach. The one who doesn't work is not matzliach. Wow. So where's the emunah? Everything comes from Kadosh Baruch Hu. V'aday, everything comes from Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're making the kelim. So the Chafetz Chaim says, he who HaKadosh Baruch Hu has decided to make poor, Kadosh Baruch Hu made him lazy. I don't have Siyata D'Shmaya to be a non-stop. I have a friend who has a huge organization. He built it, like with determination, and he keeps on falling on his face again. He keeps on matzliach on his, the guy is non-stop. It is my conviction that this guy, his biggest nightmare is to have an available minute that doesn't have at least 3.5 hours worth of work competing for. I mean, he's busy all of the time. He hasn't got a clue what's going to happen next with the new thing that he's doing. But he keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And meantime, he has an empire. He built the Chofetz Chaim Heritage Foundation. When you take a look at the Chofetz Chaim Heritage Foundation, it's a huge organization, and it's built on what? It's built on not speaking Lashon Hara. Let's be, just between us under four eyes. For most people, it's established is about as interesting as watching paint dry. I mean, I can't say that. I got it. Okay, no, don't speak Lashon Hara. Again. All right. And he has taken this, dedicated his life to this, and it's huge. It's huge. Because he has Yad Shmaya. He has a Ruach HaCheres. You have to be b'simcha. You have to be b'simcha. On Rosh Hashanah, on the head of a Rosh of the day, which is the time of his Beidadus. So you have to be b'simcha. And you have to cry on Rosh Hashanah. You have to beg a Kodesh Baruch. The Torah that we just started, Torah Chaf, talks about begging a Kodesh Baruch Hu from the Leva Elyon, the supernal heart, to open up and give you Dibur Torah, give you anything. The most of the Chanunim. Beg. When you are able to be that connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that you can cry, the gates are opened. This is vital for Rosh Hashanah, but it's vital for every day. The way to open up the heart. Reb Nosson says about this Torah Chaf that we are learning now on Thursday. that a person should not force a Kadosh Baruch Hu, as it were, to give him what he wants dafka immediately now. Because I did good things and because of, but you should beg a Kadosh Baruch Hu. V'eschanan el Hashem ba'esay lemo, and I begged the Kadosh Baruch Hu at that time. As you'll see, Mitzvah Hashem on Thursday, was the mistake Moshe Rabbeinu did, is that he took it by force, as it were, but the force of his good deeds. So he hit the rock with his staff. So you'll see it. So, well, if I'm saying the Kudus Tovus, what, I'm not hitting the rock with my stick, it's my Maisim Tovim. This is not the Rabbeinu says over there, you need the Maisim Tovim, the staff, your strength, only to subdue the bad of the people that are involved, the people there when you're dashing. You'll see it in the term. I need the staff, the strength of my good deeds, of Rabbeinu's good deeds, to break down the wickedness that is inherent in me. Wants to bring me down. You're worthless. What did you do already? What did you accomplish already? Look at you. Your own kids are laughing at you. All right. I have a cousin. There's a lot to say about this cousin, but there's one thing which is really, really something that people need to know, especially people with children. He was married once, he married again. The first marriage that he had with a couple of kids, not for him. And the situation was that his wife ran him through the ringer. Besides the fact that she kept on going to court and getting more money and more money from him. She is a very wealthy woman, but she kept on getting more money out of him, more than he could ever afford. And he would call, and his kids wouldn't pick up the phone. And he would bring them gifts, and they would throw the gifts in the garbage. But he kept on keeping on. He paid the alimony, whatever the court said is what he did. If they wouldn't speak to him on the phone, he kept on calling. They threw the gifts away, he kept on giving the gifts. And the kids went through their teens, then they went into their 20s. You know, when the kids are during their teens, there's obviously nobody as dumb as their parents. They don't know anything. It's their friends who know everything. Their parents are just totally like dullards. That's like, how do you even make it in life to survive this moment? Is inexplicable. And then 10 years pass, and by the age 27, suddenly they are amazed how much their parents actually learned in 10 years. Wow, I didn't realize he had it in you. Wow. Well, his children are older today. His daughter is a face and dental surgeon. His son is also, and throughout their 20s and their 30s, whenever anything went wrong, who do you think that they called? Not their mother, their father. Because he kept on being there. It was like, Dr. Seuss, Horton Hears a Who. Because the elephant is loyal 100%. That's it. He's Horton. He's just loyal 100%. Kal v'chomer when you have tefillah. Kal v'chomer when you have simcha. The thing is that you have to understand. You have to work at it. You have to work at it every single day. There is a rishus, there is wickedness. The Samach Mem does not want you to confront that nakuda that you're thinking yourself as a loser, and to start counting on nakuda status to be the simcha. And Russell says when you come and you are sitting there and you're quiet, making this babies, and you don't even know what to say, but you're quiet, you're there, and you're waiting for Kadosh Baruch Hu, for the supernal heart to open up and give you the diburim. When the diburim come, and you talk to Kadosh Baruch Hu, then you can connect. Then you can cry. And when you cry during this Beirut, the rest of the day you're b'simcha. And vice versa. If you're going to be the rest of the day b'simcha, during this Beirut, you can cry. And the third thing that the Rebbe says, when you talk to Kadosh Baruch Hu, also, watch out what you're saying all the time, say everything. When you're speaking to people, when you're speaking this, watch what you say. It is very easy. It is very easy to say something wrong and then cry for yesterday. I think it was a song like that, right? I said something wrong, now I cry for yesterday, right? It's but she started, he started. No, shine, it's okay. He or she started, but you had to say that word, right? You had to say that. I was just protecting myself. Yeah, all right. Now you're long for yesterday, right? That's not good. Somebody says something, you feel the bile rising. First of all, keep the mouth closed and think, should I say, shouldn't I say? And with this, you build up the right state of mind. Once you say something, you're no longer in control of these thoughts, of these words. As long as you don't say it, you have a choice to say it or not to say it. Keep it in. Keep your choices open. Pick your fights, as they say. Reflect on things and then talk about them. But it all starts with simcha. It all starts in simcha. Every single day you have to work on it. You have to work on it. You have to work on it. Nekudas tovos. The good that I did. Yeah, but it's gaiva. All right. Don't worry about it. If you're asking Kadosh Baruch Hu, hey, look, I did this for you. Or, who are you, man? I mean, I don't know. I'm bringing it in and just chas v'chalila. I'm just bringing my ma'asim tovim to beat down my own wickedness. They wants to bring me down. It wants to make me depressed. Chas v'chalila. Simcha. And Rabbeinu says that as we said last week, that it's impossible to actually these days to be b'simcha without musa d'shtusa. So to conclude the evening, I want to tell a little story. All right, let me just put it over here so I can see all of you. I can see David, Moshe, Lewis, whatever it is. I can see it. Let me see your faces so I can tell you the story about the lion making the wedding. Moshe, David, Lewis, let me see it. Anyhow, so the lion was getting married. So he made a chasana. The lion is making a chasana. Obviously, all the animals come, right? The lion making a chasana, obviously all the, everybody comes. So the mouse comes, you hear hello. So the mouse comes and he writes out a check and he gives it over to the lion. He says, here, brother, here's my brother, Mazel Tov. So the lion gets all upset. Since when am I your brother? So the mouse says, before I got married, I was also a lion. So with this, B'ezrat Hashem, we'll finish the, right? Before we got married, we were also lions, right? That's Rama and Shavua Tov and a lot of simcha and a lot of courage. Baruch Hashem, we have that's right. We have Rabbeinu, we have Torah, we have simcha, we have Masim Tovim. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. See you Hashem all on Monday in Sipurei Maisis. Kol Tov, Atzlacha B'chol.